Many individuals that are spiritually dynamic aspire to a world that basks in a greater harmony and oneness. For many of them, this world that they're awaiting is a world where finally people will dance around and say, "You were right." That's not what we're here for. In truth, every individual is like a chord of music. What we're here to create is an ecstatic symphony. It's a love song. Although there are some notes that are very dark, instruments that play in a way that seems very jagged and taut. But there's a contrast, and there's a rebound, and there's a cadence, and an extension that helps the music loop and create a revolution and a turn, pulls at the heart, creates a little drama, but enough to reach a higher harmony. Sometimes in life, the drama is very overwhelming, and it's easy to fall into it. And we hope that when individuals enter this space, they have a little bit of a reprieve from the reverberations in the circle and the reverberations of the past, in order to have that distance and see it all as amusing again. What I ask you to do now, if you can, is to focus on the individual that has wronged you the most in this journey. You know, all around the world there are many individuals that teach spirituality, and they focus about this crown chakra, this crown, this Christ consciousness, this space that we want to activate in order to tap into higher human potential, greater capacity for comprehension and functioning and intuition. And many individuals sit under a tree meditating for over 6 years, trying to get that space. Other individuals, they repeat mantras again and again and again to get a closer proximity to their innate divinity. But what I ask you to do here is a technique that will take you 1 minute. And in this minute, if you enter this space, then you will activate your crown. And what it means to activate your crown, it means to convene within yourself a reunification with the totality of all that is you here in the now and all that you will ever be. And in that reunification, you will feel the music, you will feel the energy of all that benevolence that shall become. And in that rush, you will feel the certainty and the comfort that you are not alone, and that you're headed and aligned with the trajectory of a beautiful masterwork, a beautiful piece of art. I want you to focus on the individual that has wronged you the most. I don't want you to focus on this individual because I want to cause you pain, or because I want you to summon within you feelings of judgment, retribution, anger. You see, many individuals are victimized in this world. And if you meet most oppressors, they'll be able to justify that everything they're doing is simply in order to survive. And it's really that they interpret everything as a threat to their survival. Their definition of what's entailed in survival gets more and more broad. So when you cut someone off on the highway, you're threatening their survival. Everything becomes an expression of their survival. So for these individuals, they're stuck in a survivalist mentality. And a survivalist mentality is part of a fight and flight construct for the human form. It's an animalistic design intended to help preserve a species. A human being is far more than that. When an individual that is an oppressor injures a victim, there is an energetic venom that pervades the victim's consciousness. And it's called callousness. And the victim begins to learn it's a dog-eat-dog world. You know? No one's looking after me, I have to look out for myself. And it's not long before the victim becomes the next oppressor. It's a vicious cycle. The energy that they've partnered with, it's one of deconstruction, separateness from one's authentic self. It's a lack of trust from the greater whole. It's a lack of trust for a greater harmony and a greater design. It's a feeling of rage, of abandonment, primal scream. And it's a lonely space. It's a dark space. And there's a lot of hurt there. I want you to focus on the individual that has wronged you the most in your life. Because I want you to see this individual in this light. I want you to recognize that if an individual can act in this way, they are not free. That they've entered into a survivalist consciousness, a survivalist mentality. They are unable to be sentimental or feel in the same way you can. And they've been hardened by life. And that is why they acted so. But you should recognize that there is a truth within them. And so long as that truth is not being played in intimacy, that truth creates a void in our world. And when there's a void, it's a vacuum. And nature doesn't appreciate vacuums. And when there's a vacuum, every free radical that happens to pervade shows up in the vacuum and creates dysfunction and disharmony. And so our world learns the truth, but learns it from the void. Learn the truth, the long path, not the short path of intimacy, of coming in contact with the authenticity and sincerity and beauty of an individual's truth. But they learn the truth because of the imbalance that ensues because the truth is not there. I want you to focus on this for a moment. Focus on the truth of the individual that has wronged you the most. Recognize how far away they are from standing in their truth and intimacy. And recognize the great loss this world has inherited. And the great imbalances that have taken root because individuals have not stood in their truth. I ask you to focus on your heart. Not a tired heart. Not a heart that's been trodden. But a rejuvenated spring. Heart of a child. A heart of wonder. A heart where everything is possible. A heart where everything is new again. Where everything is always new. A heart that loves easily. A heart that does not recognize division. A heart that recognizes innocence. I want you to activate that heart. And I want you to recognize the truth that is locked away within these individuals. That is not able to escape. It's suffocating within. And I want you to cry for that truth. I want you to bleed for that truth. I want you to say, the cycle ends now. For the oppressor hits the victim and the victim becomes an oppressor, and it goes one after the other, cause and effect, one into the other, in a cycle that never ends until the victim says, enough, I am free. Namaste. I bow to the light of truth that lies latently within you. There is no retribution. I shall not injure another. I recognize that you feel abandoned, you feel alone, you feel cheated. I recognize that there is divinity within you that you cannot reach. I recognize you cannot see it, so I will witness it for you. And you will witness it through the reflection of my eyes and the cadence of my heart. And you will not be changed this moment, you will not be changed now, but one day you will hit humility. You will enter humility, and you will enter the wonder of a child. And when you do, when you enter that innocence, you will say, I saw God. And yes, they did see God, but the God they saw was the innocence and the wonder that was reflected in the cadence of your heart and the reflection of your eyes. And so it is.